I'm asking to spend some big-time money on Trey Hendrickson. What's your answer?
Yeah, my old guy, shot here. Absolutely. We made this decision a year ago when we traded Micah Parsons. Trey Hendrickson's going to be 32. Not ideal, but I'll tell you what, he's still productive. And look, Donovan Ezra-Rocco, I think he's going to be a good player, Laura, but we need somebody to win now. And if we do this here, we can then go draft a corner with one of our 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, I like it. There's some good corners in this class that should be there for the Cowboys. Also good for Trey Hendrickson, getting out of Cincinnati, finally going to get a big deal somewhere else. Andy Reid wants to use that 9th light. Dak Prescott, he lives in the spotlight too. And in the shadow is Tad Carper, a face you often see but rarely notice as the senior VP of communications for the Cowboys. His job is to facilitate the Cowboys' participation in the media. In fact, he spent the majority of his professional career encouraging others to share their stories, to inspire others. Reluctant at first, Carper realized it's time to share his own. Lindsay Theory with the story.
I told him, I said, I think you just saved my life.
Prescott invited Carper to also be screened.
Got the note that morning, say, hey, why don't you come over and get tested too? We're testing all the assistant coaches, and why don't you come too? And it's 7 a.m. one morning, and what else am I doing?
So Carper went. His blood was drawn to send to a lab and run through a Gallery test, a technology which screens for 50 different cancers and can identify their location.
I walked in, got tested, took blood, simple as that. Sat there and talked for a while and walked out and never thought about it again. And then, of course, 2 weeks later, got a different kind of phone call. You got a positive result for head or neck cancer. And we need to get you screened and scanned immediately. The rest of the day after that call was a bit surreal. Everything slowed down.
I'd gotten to know that there was a positive test, and that was it, and kind of wondered who it was, and maybe it was the next day or so that Tad approached me.
I said, hey, you know, the test that you arranged, well, that's me. I came back positive. Before I could get another word out of my mouth, his first response was, we hugged it up. He said, we got it. I know we got it.
A biopsy confirmed stage 2 throat cancer.
I had surgery to remove the tumor completely successfully, then underwent about 2 months of radiation treatments after that. My doctors told me if it was 2 months later, we'd be having a much different conversation and result.
Just to be very clear, you did not have any symptoms?
No, I felt fine. Would never have gotten tested. Shame on me, and that's part of the moral of this story, is get tested.
What's it mean to you that you helped save his life?
I don't know if it's something I really could ever put into words. I know how many people aren't fortunate of that. To just play a part in it is more than enough.
Just an incredible story all the way around. And March, by the way, is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. And as his story has become public, Carper says he's had multiple people reach out, some close to him, others complete strangers in emails, to say that his story has inspired them to get screened. We hope it helps somebody watching today. Still to come here on NFL.
George loves football. That's the one thing about it. I just want him to know, don't change your love for football. Don't get in the business mind of this. You played last year on a 1 year for not even that much, right? So if you can go 30, whatever it is now, I think it's the same thing I got. So, when I franchise. So, hey, go do it. At the end of the day, bet on yourself. He's a hell of a player. Hopefully we can get him long term and sign that. But if not, I think the way that he plays the game and the person that he is, he'll be just fine.
Obviously, Dak has a lot of experience with this, as he alluded to. Adam, any progress on that deal with Pickens? What do we expect?
No, Laura, that'll go on for a while. That's the expectation across the league. We may not see George Pickens during the Cowboys offseason program. This certainly has the potential to linger into and through the offseason. We'll see if there's any progress that's made, but this offseason is just about to get underway, but no progress yet for George Pickens.
Yeah, to Adam's point, this could get a little messy because you got the offseason program. He doesn't have to sign anything. He's technically not even on the team right now. I think it's a situation where he's going to wait a long time because he wants a deal with a 3 in front of it on a per-year average, and we'll see if Dallas is willing to do that.
If the line of demarcation was Labor Day, take the later, not the earlier. Last year was super easy with Micah Parsons. This is really difficult. I don't think this gets done for a long time.
Yeah, reminder, July 15th is the deadline there. So if you're looking at timelines, there's a lot of months before July. Thanks so much for tuning in today. A reminder, free agency kicks off next week. We got you covered throughout the days coming up next week and all the coverage you could ever need. But we'll also be back tomorrow at our regular time right here on ESPN. We'll see you then.
All right, Cowboys Nation, let me ask you something right now. Are the Dallas Cowboys about to make the move that could completely change the identity of this defense? Yeah, I'm serious. Because imagine this scenario for a second. The Cowboys decide they are done waiting, done playing it safe, and they go all in to bring in one of the most productive pass rushers in football. Yeah, I'm talking about Trey Hendrickson. And if you're a Cowboys fan watching this right now, you're probably thinking the same thing I am. Wait a minute. If this actually happens, this defense might suddenly become dangerous again. Yeah. So here's what's being discussed around the league and in NFL circles lately. Analysts on TV were literally talking through a scenario where Dallas could spend big money in free agency to bring in Trey Hendrickson. Now, for those who follow the league closely, you already know Hendrickson has been one of the most consistent edge rushers over the last few seasons with the Cincinnati Bengals. According to multiple reports and stats tracked by outlets like ESPN and Pro Football Focus, Hendrickson has been among the league leaders in sacks over the past few years and has been responsible for a huge percentage of Cincinnati's total pass rush production. That's not a small thing. That's elite impact. Now here's where things get interesting, Cowboys Nation, because the discussion wasn't just about signing Hendrickson. The conversation was about strategy. One analyst basically said if you want to win right now, if you're serious about competing for a championship, then you go get a proven veteran pass rusher instead of waiting for a rookie to develop. And that's when the words came out that got my attention. We need somebody to win now. Now that right there is the mindset Cowboys fans have been begging to hear for years. Think about it. Dallas has already built one of the most explosive offenses in the NFL, with Dak Prescott leading the way at quarterback and CeeDee Lamb dominating defenses on the outside. The Cowboys have shown they can put up points with almost anybody in the league. Last season, Dak was playing at an MVP level for long stretches, and Lamb established himself as one of the top receivers in the entire NFL. When that offense gets rolling, it's fireworks everywhere. But let's be honest for a second, Cowboys Nation. The real question mark has been the defense. There were stretches where the defense struggled with consistency and depth, especially when it came to generating pressure in big moments. And if you look at modern NFL football, every Super Bowl contender has one thing in common. They can get to the quarterback. Look at teams like Kansas City, San Francisco, Philadelphia. They all invest heavily in pass rushers. That's exactly why the idea of bringing in Trey Hendrickson is so intriguing. Even though he's approaching his early 30s, he's still producing at a high level, and analysts believe he could instantly upgrade a defensive front. And here's the strategy that was suggested. Dallas signs Hendrickson to bring veteran pass rush production immediately, and then uses their early draft picks to build the secondary. Whoo-hoo! That's a plan, Cowboys Nation. That's how you build a defense from the front to the back. Because when your defensive line can pressure the quarterback quickly, everything else gets easier. Corners don't have to cover forever, safeties can play more aggressively, linebackers can roam and make plays. That's football 101. Pressure changes everything. And look, this isn't just random speculation either. The Cowboys have shown in recent years that when they believe the roster is close, they are willing to make bold moves to stay competitive. Jerry Jones has repeatedly said he believes this team has the pieces to compete for championships. And when you look at the offensive core already in place, it's not crazy to think that adding one more elite defensive piece could shift the balance. Imagine a Cowboys defense that suddenly adds a proven sack artist to the front. Imagine opposing quarterbacks trying to deal with that pressure while also facing an offense led by Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb on the other side of the ball. That's the kind of balance championship teams have. And here's the reality, Cowboys Nation. The NFL window to compete is always smaller than fans think. Teams that wait too long, teams that hesitate, they watch their opportunity disappear. But teams that act aggressively when the moment is right, those are the teams that suddenly find themselves deep in the playoffs. So if Dallas truly decides to pursue a move like this, if they bring in a veteran pass rusher while continuing to build through the draft, yeah, that could be the type of roster move that pushes this team from contender to serious championship threat. But now, I want to hear from you, Cowboys Nation. If the Cowboys had the opportunity to bring in Trey Hendrickson, would you make that move? Do you think Dallas should go all in on a veteran pass rusher right now or focus only on building through the draft? Drop your thoughts down in the comments because this is the kind of decision that could shape the entire season. And if you love staying updated with Dallas Cowboys news, rumors, reactions, and analysis just like this, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next update. Cowboys Nation, the season is getting closer, the roster moves are starting, and something big might be coming to Dallas. Yeah, Cowboys Nation, let's ride.